Every new Tekken season usually comes with three main things for each character: bug fixes, balance changes including buffs and nerfs, and sometimes a brand new move. So in this video, I want to go straight to the point and talk about my Jack-8 Season 3 wishlist. What needs fixing, what should be buffed or nerfed, and finally, what kind of new move would actually make sense for Jack. First, let's talk about the things that simply do not work correctly, because these aren't balanced opinions, they're just bugs. Blue Spark after a heat dash is Jack's max damage tool. Yet, at the wall, it can randomly whiff for absolutely no reason, which should never happen in a wall scenario and needs to be fixed. Another wall interaction that's clearly bugged is up forward 1+2 after full crouch down forward 3+4 hold. This follow-up is normally guaranteed, but at the wall, Jack can sometimes jump over the opponent and get launched for it, which should not happen under any circumstances, so please fix it. There's also heat forward 3+4 into forward 2 interaction where after stepping left, the forward 2 follow-up just doesn't connect properly and whiffs in a really strange way. On top of that, Jack's Y standing 4, which is supposed to be his 12 frame Punisher, sometimes fails to connect after blocking a -12 move, like this Jin string right here. And a punish tool being inconsistent like that is completely unacceptable. Seed Plant also has tracking issues where the first hit lands but the second hit randomly whiffs, and for a move that's -70 on block, that should never be a thing. On top of all of that, there are multiple guaranteed follow-ups that randomly fail, such as crouch grabs or down forward 3+4 after up forward 2 sometimes, and all of these interactions need to be fixed. If you've seen any other Jack bugs, make sure to post them on Twitter using the hashtag Tekken8report. Now, moving on onto balance changes, let's start with buffs, because at high level, Jack is honestly very easy to counter. The first and most important buff I'd like to see is to his stance bubble, Gamma Hold 3+4. A lot of people think this move is already good, but I strongly disagree. It's only really strong defensively while in heat, but as an actual stance threat, it's terrible. Gamma Hold 3+4 is a special mid, which means you can duck and your character will still block it regardless of it being a mid, a special mid. Similar to a duck jab, and the only way to get hit is if you press or hold forward. While it does stop sidestepping, duck jab still completely shuts down Jack's stance for free, which is ridiculous considering how much risk Jack takes just to enter stance. His most useful stance options being a special mid makes no sense. So what I would like to see is if they remove the special mid property and make Gamma Hold 3+4 a real mid. The next buff I want to talk about is back 4-4. A lot of people don't realize that the first back 4 is -10 on block, which makes it punishable and borderline useless against characters with a strong 10 frame Punisher. Jack desperately needs a reliable 13 frame mid to deal with stance rushdown instead of relying on gimmicky tools, so back 4 should be something like -4 to -6 on block instead of -10. After that we have back 2, which is a 19 frame mid that's steppable to both sides and only +2 on block with massive pushback. At +2 with that kind of pushback, you don't even get your turn. And this move used to be +5, which actually made sense. Either revert it back to +5 or remove the pushback so the plus frames actually matter. Another buff I'd love to see, purely for character identity reasons, is the debugger buff. Debugger was already reactable in Tekken 7, so the huge startup nerf it received in Tekken 8 just doesn't make no sense. The move is already seeable, highly punishable, and extremely risky, so reverting it back to 24 frame starter would make it usable without making it broken. Now let's talk about nerfs that I would be okay with. The first one is Jack's Heat Smash, which everyone was talking about at a certain time for weeks. I understand why people complain about a 10 frame Heat Smash doing huge damage with wall break, and while it's extremely situational, I don't mind seeing it nerfed at all. And honestly, I don't think any Heat Smash should interact with wall or floor hazards in the first place. The second nerf I would be okay with is a universal guard break nerf, because no guard break in this game should ever lead to 100 plus damage. Risk reward shouldn't be a choice between a mid that does massive damage and a guard break that also does massive damage, because that just turns Tekken into a gambling game instead of a decision making game. Another nerf I would accept is lowering the damage on heat forward 3+4 into forward 2 at the wall. Regardless of the option not having a strong low mix-up, it still does huge damage, so nerfing the damage would be fair. Now that we've talked about fixes and balances, let's move on to the new move I'd like to see. If Jack gets a new move in Season 3, it should be stance related. Jack's stance is very weak in neutral, has no low threat and is completely option selectable, which makes it one of the worst stances in the game. He's basically the only Tekken character with a stance that doesn't have a low option, so giving him a low from stance is essential. I don't care if it's launch punishable or risky, I just want a low option to exist so people can't option select his stance for free in neutral. Ideally, I'd love to see a faster stance only version of Debugger, but even a weaker version would massively help his stance game. Finally, I want to talk about what annoys me about Tekken 8 in general. As a content creator and someone who attends local tournaments, I really dislike how fast and gamble heavy the game has become. With constant stance rushdown and forced guessing, I'd love to see universal nerfs across the roster to slow the game down and bring back more decision making. I also really hate mix-ups that come directly off of blocked mids that are minus on block. Not every character should have access to huge range mids that are plus and instantly lead to 50-50s. And yeah, I'll say it, I hate Anna and Nina's jailing mid-highs, I hate Law's 1-1-1, I hate Brian's combo damage, I hate Claudio's wall splat from China, I hate Lydia's pressure, I hate Falcomram's range, I hate Iddy's heat game, I hate Steve's game plan, and I hate Clive in general. Thank you for watching, and I really hope Season 3 brings back the basics.